Okay, so I'm out here tonight trying to get these doors and visor primed for the semi. I've got them all sanded down. The visor was really bad shape. It's got all kinds of chips. I had to fill some of the really bad chips, but it is really high on the semi, so it's going to be hard to spot a lot of these, but I filled the major ones in. Got that sanded down, ready to go. The doors are ready to be masked off. There wasn't too much damage on the doors here. There was some corrosion that I went right down to the aluminum on the where there was corrosion coming through. Some of the rivets had some corrosion around them, so I had to go through there. The door handle had some. Other than that, I just sanded and scuffed the doors, make sure all where the letters was sanded down, no adhesive left. This one had a little bit of a ding there, so I had to do a little bit of hammer and dialing on that, and then I did use a little bit of filler because it actually scratched the aluminum, gouged into the aluminum. Another corrosion right there. And then there's some chips and stuff that I sanded out along the edge and stuff. But and then that door handle's the same way. So I'm just about ready for primer on these. I've got to mask them off, the doors. Nothing needs to be masked off on the visor, but the doors got to be masked off. I'm just going to mask off here and then just paint the top side. I do have to flip it over. Right here they don't paint that area where that wiper gets riveted to. They rivet that on and then they paint the doors. Well, while I'm priming these, I'm gonna prime this, and then after I get it primed, we'll rivet that piece back on, because there was a lot of corrosion on this edge here because it was just bare aluminum. So I'm gonna do that so it's not bare aluminum there, and then hopefully tomorrow or the next day I'll be getting paint on these. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. It's funny, on some of these places, like in this corner here, you can see where the factory didn't even paint inside that. They like totally missed that, which is kind of odd to me that the factory would do that kind of stuff. But I guess they're not real concerned about everything on these semis, but you would think for what they cost that they would get good coverage. But I'm going to mask these off and then clean them off again, and then I'll be ready for the primer. Okay, so I got everything masked off that I need to mask off. It's all cleaned off. And I'm ready to prime. So I'm going to get to priming. I'm just using the Nason here, the Select Prime stuff for this. And I believe I'm going to prime the whole door. I'm going to prime everything. Even though I didn't go all the way through to the aluminum in a lot of spaces, I'm just going to prime the whole thing, I think. Give me a good base, fill in some of the scratches that, some of the deeper scratches I may have missed and stuff, so. Okay, so I got my first coat on. I'm probably gonna do 2 coats on the doors and 3, 4 coats maybe on this visor. This visor, like I said, was really beat up. And now that I got it primed, I can see all kinds of chips. So I'll probably have to go through with a little bit of putty and hit some of them before I do spray the color. Because on the dark surfaces, I couldn't even see a lot of these chips, but I see there's a lot more than I thought there was. So I'm getting ready to spray my second coat. It's really humid out, so I'm kind of giving this more time to flash before I spray my second coat on. There's all kinds of bugs out here tonight too, but this is just primer. If I get bugs in it, I can sand it out, so I'm not too worried. So I'm going to continue on, and hopefully by the end of the night these will be ready for paint. Okay, so that's going to do it for me tonight. I actually got 3 coats on the doors, and then 4 coats on the visor, and I'm going to call it quits on that. Doors look really, really good. Visor not so good with all the little chips, so I'll be filling them tomorrow. Probably doing a light sanding, and then we have to install the wiper. We got to rivet that on before I can paint, and hopefully these will be black metallic shortly. Okay, so I've gone ahead and painted the visor. I kind of wanted to see how this paint went on, and kind of how it sprayed and how much it took to do this, and it's really, I really like the paint. I mean, it goes on really nice, seems to go really far for the amount you use, but it seemed to spray really nice. You can see I got some trash in it, but I mean, it's a nice, beautiful color. It's black with like a metallic in it, but I mean, you can see there's the reflection there. Pretty darn good reflection. This ain't perfect. Like I said, there's trash in it. There's a few bumps and stuff like that, and bugs got in it. But for the most part, most of that could be buffed out if I wanted to. And this is going way up on the truck. You're never even going to see all those imperfections. And it's, you know, it's 100 times better than it was before. You know, a faded, chipped up visor. So a little bit of time, a little bit of paint, and this thing is pretty darn close to new looking. Now this stuff dries like really, really slow. I mean, it's tacky for I believe like 2 to 4 hours if you're just letting it air dry. And then you need 3 days to let it sit before you can actually assemble the parts. So this visor is on day number 2, I think. I think you could probably assemble it right now, as hard as it is. We'll give it the 3 days though. We're waiting on some new lights anyway, new lenses. So we're gonna give that some more time. Now I gotta do the doors. Doors had already been painted, but we were waiting on this wiper for the door. Dad actually went and got the wipers, and they gave us 2 right hands instead of a right hand and a left hand. You can see this one's already on. These have to go on before you paint because they're riveted on here. You see these are the rivets that hold it on. They were aluminum rivets that were in there. We're using brass rivets because that's what we got. Right here, this is our little rivet deal. I don't even know what you call this thing. It's old. And we use this for riveting the brake shoes on the Oliver OC6 Cats. There's a whole bunch of we got a whole bunch of different size rivets, but these are the size we're using right here. Like I said, they're brass, I believe, but it's working really good. I mean, they fit in the holes perfect. They're gonna hold this, I think, really nice. Once I clean them up and paint them, they're gonna blend right in the door. You'll never even know that they weren't factory. But we just got this one in, so I'm going to install that. It doesn't come with any holes, so you gotta put your own holes in there. So I'm gonna set it up here. I'm gonna clamp it in place, drill my holes, and then probably have to wait for Dad to help me because we set it up here. We got this set at the right height. We gotta flip the door over, and the rivet, this has got to sit down on here, and then you push the lever. You push the lever down here with your foot, and it crushes the rivet and holds it in place. Like I said, these rivets are doing awesome. I think they're gonna hold it just fine. This does have like a steel insert in it, so I mean it's not just a felt piece. There's a piece of steel in there. The other ones were ruined. They were completely rusted out. So I'm going to get this all ready so we can install it as soon as Dad shows up here. And then I can sand down the primer a little bit. The primer went down really nice, so it's pretty close to where it needs to be. Just going to do a little bit of sanding to kind of smooth it down a little more. And we'll do good. I believe I used 320 on the visor, and that worked out really good. So I believe I'm just going to do the 320 here. Usually it's like 400 before for the other paint I was using, the chroma base, but 320 I don't see any sand and scratches in that paint, so that's what I'm going to go with. A little easier to work with the 320 rather than the 400 because it's a little not so fine, doesn't plug up as bad. So also we got some new plugs. These plugs that go right here. I believe this is used if you have the mirror on the door. This is where the wires come through. We don't have the mirrors on the doors, so we got a plug. I got to paint that. And yeah, hopefully I'll have paint on this. Hopefully we'll have paint on these tonight. Okay, so this is how I'm doing this second one. First one I did a different way. It didn't work out quite so well. So this one here, what I'm doing is I've got it clamped down using some paint sticks to not dig into my primer here, even though I do have to sand it down, so it probably wouldn't matter. But I'm going to use the paint sticks here to keep from damaging the primer. I'm just using my drill, same size as the rivet, and I'm just going down, drilling these out. I will have to go through the rubber again with a little bigger drill bit, just because it's rubber, and the rivet won't go through for some reason with this smaller drill bit. So I do have to go one size bigger on the rubber. But right now I'm just getting it lined up so it sits in there nice and perfect. Okay, so here I got the door set up with the rivet machine. I got my door wiper in there. I got the rivet on my first deal, and you can see that down here it is sitting on the rivet, and then when I push the pedal, this thing's going to come down, smash the rivet flat. And I'm going to continue on. There's 6 rivets here, and we're going to hopefully get this done in a few minutes. Okay, you can see the rivets here. See how they're smashed? And it makes a perfect little deal that's going to hold these this wiper on really, really nice. This was working out great. I'm going to finish up and get to sanding. Okay, so I got my doors all sanded and cleaned off and ready for paint here. It's a nice cool night, so I see very few bugs. It's actually kind of raining out too, so I should be a good night to actually paint here. Got my little plugs in there, and everything looks good. Going to start spraying the color. I already mixed my paint. It's ready to go. Dog's in the house, so he won't be breathing this stuff. Okay, so I've got the doors painted. You can see they come out really, really nice. I mean, I'm proud of this job. I mean, really, really happy with the way they came out. I mean, you can see that reflection on there. It's really like they are, they look like mirrors. And like I said, I'm really happy with the way these turned out. Yeah, there's some trash in there. There's a few bugs. But the real problem is right here. You guys can get a good look at that. That is the remains of a female mosquito. And what those are the legs of the mosquito when he landed on the deal and pretty much ruined my paint. Other than this, I was so happy until I come out and saw that stupid bug in there. I'm gonna have to try to buff this out. I don't know if I can because his legs are in there. I'm not sure exactly how I'm supposed to get that out, but I'm gonna try. If I can't get it out, I guess it's a reshoot for this door, which is really disappointing. Because like I said, I am so happy with how these turned out. I love this paint. This Emerald paint is really nice. The only thing with this paint is it takes like 4 hours before this thing is dried enough so bugs and stuff don't actually stick on the paint. So, I mean, I don't have a paint booth. You know, I can't seal it off and you know, keep bugs out, keep 100% of the bugs out of here. I mean, I shut the door, but it was too late. He must have got in here and then he fell in my paint. So, I mean, I guess this door here is really nice, but it's just a real shame because these doors, the paint was so nice on this, and I was really happy, and then I saw the bug. But that's the way it goes. I'm going to try to fix it here. I'm going to call this video good, get this out to you guys. I'm sure you're wanting to see something. I guess you have to stay tuned, see what happens. We're going to try to get all these parts back installed on the semi, and we'll see what she looks like then. So I guess see you guys in the next one.